New update of Plug Me In. The second week was mainly about getting the car from the customs, which is quite a process in India. Their bureaucracy is an inheritance from the British and the Indian definitely perfectionized it. Luckily I have Mr. John with me who works for the oldest logistic company in Mumbai. The looks of the office and the people who work here is just like walking on a movie set. Very authentic. So this week I went from their office in South Mumbai to offices in North Mumbai to the port, which was about 2 hours away from the city, and back to south, to north, to port, to back, to fort, to south, etc. It was a complicated process and felt again like a movie, but this time more like a bad slapstick. The car arrived on Wednesday and we hoped to get it out on Friday, but this didn't work out, so we had to wait at least until Monday. So this weekend I had some time to visit sustainable projects. The first one was Reality Tours and Travel. They organize tours through Dharavi, which is one of Mumbai's biggest slums. At least 1 million people live here. Reality Tours is a social business. 80% of the ticket sales is invested back to improve the slum, mostly on education. This slum has also a huge industrial area which generates $650 million every year. Interesting is that it's mainly earned by recycling plastic.
It's an incredible space, the industrial sector, and I mean what you will see when you visit the industrial sector is a number of different processes, particularly relating to things like plastic. So there's all these different processes, sorting, kind of sorting them into different colours, different types of plastic, different grades of plastic. Then they're sold to the next person who's taking it on in another process. The final process, which is dealt with in Dharavi, is turning them into plastic pellets. And so there's a number of different processes that they go through here, cleaning, etc. The challenge, I guess, is, and the challenge to Dharavi and the businesses here is that generally the processes here are adding a small amount of value, when actually the real value is taking those plastic pellets and turning them into a product.
On Saturday I met the nice guys of Elmo, which stands for Electric Mobility. Yes, even here it's getting off the ground.
Elmo basically is a startup in the electric mobility space. Elmo stands for electric mobility, and what we are trying to do is actually use battery operated vehicles to deliver goods from one point to another point and create an ecosystem where we can use these vehicles for the last mile logistics segment. So basically it's something which is more cost effective and eco-friendly, reduce the carbon emission of the fuel run vehicles in the current scenario which people are using to deliver goods. So whole idea is to use eco-friendly vehicles and also reduce the cost of delivery, and that is what Elmo stands for.
The Monday was the big day. It was not allowed to take your camera in the harbor, so all the footage you see is shot with my iPhone.
My car. So happy to see them back after so many weeks. It took me just 5 hours to get 2 stamps, but we're finally out of the customs. This is the gate and we passed it now. I'm just waiting for the handler, John, to arrange the final things. I hope it will be quick this time. But here she is. Super happy, of course, that she's here, and she looks totally fine, no scratches or anything. So the road trip to India can start now. But before we start I need to arrange a lot of things and have some interesting meetings on the agenda. Today I am invited by Guido Tielman, the Consulate General of the Netherlands. When they heard of my arrival, they wanted to do something with it, and together with IMBA, the India-Netherlands Business Association, they organized an event to promote sustainable mobility in India.
The event tonight that we are going to organize at my residence is an event surrounding electrical vehicles. There is a cluster of Dutch companies here in India that are working on how to implement an e-vehicle policy also here in India, particularly focusing on loading infrastructure. So we are going to talk about that tonight at the residence. The Netherlands is one of the front runners when it comes down to e-vehicles. I think that by 2020 we want to have 200,000 e-vehicles on the road. The Netherlands is indeed a world power when it comes down to e-vehicles. We produce heavy duty trucks, we produce loading infrastructure, we have fuel information systems. So I really think that we have something to offer for India in the area of e-vehicles, and we are willing to cooperate.
After the charging session at the consulate, we did a short road trip. We passed the gate of India, Chhatrapati Shivaji terminus, showed off on the boulevard, and eventually arrived at Guido's home. Other speaker there was Wiebren van der Vaart of Asia Electric, who gave an introduction on electric mobility and explained his plan to install charging infrastructure throughout the country. Then I had the honor to tell about my adventure, and everyone was super enthusiastic and immediately started to think along with me about possible routes to take through India. At the end I was thanked with a statue of a Hindi god and some money to take with me on the trip. It was a very interesting evening in Mumbai and great to see that so many people are getting interested in electric mobility. Thursday I brought my car to the garage for some checks. In Dubai I experienced some problems. The gear popped back from drive to neutral, followed by a loud noise. Didn't sound good. Through a contact I found Karan from Daulat Automobiles, who wanted to check the car. He never saw an electric car before and really liked the technique. I was in touch with Wim from Custom Cars, who gave assist over WhatsApp while being in the Philippines. Where will I be without social media? The problem was coming from the gearbox, so we feared the worst. If it was inside of the box, it would be very expensive to fix. They had to remove the complete converter. It took them 2 days and 10 hours of research, and at the end it was just a loose part which had to be tightened. A big relief. Karen loved what I was doing and wanted to contribute by offering this service for free. And that after so many hours of hard work. Of course I am very thankful to him and his nice team. Friday I left my apartment in Andheri East and moved to Laura's place in the south of the city. Very close to the gate of India and to the Ministry of New where I am working regularly. Laura was off to a weekend in Goa, but her roommate Joanna was here to keep me company. I paid a visit to IIT Mumbai, the university of the city, and met with Team Shunya, who built an interesting house.
We are looking at the house made by Team Shunya, IIT Bombay. This house is a self-sustaining modular house which has been made in a period of 10 days. This house is entirely powered by solar energy. It's a net positive energy house, which means it produces more energy than it consumes over a period during a year.
They offered me some lunch and I went back home in a shared cab with 6 people, only in Mumbai. I was meeting Abhishek, who is part of the Plug-in India community.
Well, I found out about you through your website, of course, and then there was also some word of mouth about someone who was traveling all across Asia, Europe and Asia in an electric car.
Abhishek drives the full electric Mahindra E2O, and you will hear more about this car later in this video. Sunday I met with this sweet lady who organizes a organic farm market every weekend.
Initially I got into nutrition because I felt I wanted to feed my family right. After that it was to make sure that the farmers got a good price, that they didn't commit suicide. But now really the reason is, and of course the soil of the earth should remain pure and be alive for the next generation. But really the reason why I'm still carrying it on is because the wisdom of farmers all over the world should not disappear. If we do not support farming, the farmers' children are not becoming farmers, and we stand within one generation to lose all of them to other fields of work. So who will then farm?
Next stop was Dhobi Ghats, an attraction which has been on my list for quite a while now.
See, this one, Dhobi Ghat is the biggest laundry in the world. Guinness World Record of the washing place. Total 4,000 to 5,000 people work here and live here. This one washing place 152 years old. This time British military soldier clothes, uniform, was to start to place. Now Indian government handle all over Mumbai clothes wash over here. Hotel, railways, hospital, railways. This all over Mumbai. Yeah, married party clothes, birthday, celebrity clothes, everything clothes come here. This all percent worker 10 months continue the work, 2 months go back in village. This UP and Hyderabad, Uttar Pradesh and Hyderabad. Washermen come from the village. This chemical is very dangerous. This used for caustic soda, bleach and black soap. Very hard chemical. This really very hard in use for the clothes. Some people, this also old man only work here this time. This time new children not like for the grandfather, father job. This one job is also family job. This time children, small Dhobi people, sons go to school, good educated. small officially job like that. This time washerman is very problem used for technology.
Last stop was with the nice guys of WeCharge, who we saw earlier this video, but I wanted to have some more time with them to hear exactly what they are doing.
Yeah, we've been fantastic that you're here.
Yeah.
And we're very happy to help you out on your journey to Australia.
Yeah.
We're standing here at the very first smart charge point in India. We're setting up a new company here in India called WeCharge.
Okay.
I'm doing that together with my local partner Mass Tech Controls.
Yeah.
Basically we're rolling out a network of smart chargers for electric vehicles here in India to accelerate the transition to electric mobility.
Alright.
In Mumbai, it's very hard to make a recording without background noise, as you might have noticed. Point that we are trying to make here is that I am the first Dutch electric car that is charging here, and in the next shot you will see me talking with Wibran's colleague Anurag.
Yeah, hi. How are you? Long time.
How are you? Yeah. You're also a colleague of Wibran?
Yes, I am.
You drive
electric vehicle. India made electric vehicle.
And it's the only one you see on the
Yeah,
streets
basically
here,
they have various variants on this, but this one is what I like. It's the P8 E2O Plus, Mahindra.
Okay. Tell me about it. What's the tech specs?
It's easy to drive, it is very efficient, and I'm in love with this car. Once I've driven this car, I don't feel like driving any petrol car at this stage.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Should we just, I want to feel
yeah, sure, please.
Just,
yeah, sure, please.
Okay. This is for me also the
first time you're driving an
first time I drive on the right, the right hand things. See, it's so silent.
It's so silent, yeah. It's very silent.
It is silent. So what I notice obviously that the streets here, the traffic,
it's mad. It's mad.
It's mad, but it's noisy also.
It's very noisy.
Continue, they're horning and they're shouting at you. It's a little bit.
Did anyone shout crazy on you?
Yeah, of course. But it's normally because I shout at them, because then I think like, then I see him doing something and I think like, how can you be so stupid? So it's kind of like that I'm more amazed about what's going on here than mad. But so the top speed is 100 kilometers an hour.
Yeah. If you put it into, now it is on forward mode. Once you put it into boost mode, it can go to 100, no problem.
Okay.
But then the car becomes unstable, so I recommend 90, not more than that. So basically you have this touchscreen infotainment in the over here. Yeah. You got the music system, it's got a Bluetooth in it, it's got a projector headlamps. That is quite fascinating about this. Nothing high tech, but it's quite spacious. If you see any car in this segment, take an example of Hyundai i20 or an i10, the space what you get and the height is quite low in the Hyundai i10 and i20. This is quite spacious. The height is more, and I think so this is better for, and it gives you a feel that you're on the road, not below the road. Yeah. So it's nice.
Yeah. That was it for this week. Of course I will make a video about every single initiative I visited, but please have some patience as tomorrow the road trip to India will start. It's going to be tough, but I want to make videos regularly, so please subscribe to this channel to stay updated about the adventure.